where process that I've been working on for a while, it gets me to a place of gratitude. It almost really time. And I think what happens to people as they reach a certain age, I'm 75, and I start, thinking about the end of this physical life. My usual practice is just to avoid, I want to live forever, man. And I'm going to be able to do whatever I want to do forever, and just, there's no question about it. Until I realize that I've lived here 13 years in the Bitterroot. I'm 75, so gee, that went really fast the last 13 years. I wonder if the next 13 years are going to be really fast. And I kind of go, I'll be 88. I never expected to live that long. So maybe I ought to think about this a little bit. We just never know, do we? And I think it's a wonderful process the universe has perfected. That at the end of this sojourn in this three-dimensional time-space, that one way or another we come to the reckoning of, you know what, this is temporary. This body, what I see around me, the form of this dimension is temporary. So eventually I get to a place where I can feel some gratitude for the process, for being here and having lived this long. I'm grateful for really knowing that that's my ego talking, and it wasn't always true. I didn't always know about that voice that is trying to preserve what is appearance of an illusion of form in this three-dimensional place. It really is a gift to be able to know that that's your ego self, your ego mind talking, and that's not your true self. So this process is a blessing. In preparing for this month, I'm reading, still reading a book by the same name. Ever heard of that? Walking Each Other Home by Ram Dass? And his colleague Mirabai Bush. Kind of interesting too that it took Ram Dass until he'll be 88 next month. Took him that long to kind of getting around to writing about this too. All years of teaching and all of his books. So the universe is wise. The book is about records, conversations that the two of them have had over a period of last year about the prospect of dying and people they knew and the teachers they've had and the wisdom that was shared. The process of not only dying, but another theme that runs through the book is that the accompaniment of friends and close relatives. So the title, Walking Each Other Home, is the process of going through that realization. And there's a whole process he talks about how one can move from fear and doubt and confusion as one is going through the process of ending a physical life, but also the process of the people around them, walking each other home. Title comes from that. He says that everyone is afraid of dying. At some level of their being, they're afraid of dying. We get really hypnotized by long years in this dimension, fooling ourselves. But he also says that dying is the most important thing you do in life. Dying is the most important thing you do in life. It's our ego self that feels threatened, of course, you know that. And as it feels threatened, it does everything. It bargains and fools us and brings up fear and wants to do anything at all possible to preserve itself, the artificial construct of this world. Our ego mind identifies with everything that can form our body, our personality, our human personality. Our ego mind identifies us as separate things, separate from each other, separate from nature, the earth, separate from God, separate from spirit. When we see life through our ego mind or our ego self, the prospect of our physical body dying scares the hell out of us, because that means that we will no longer exist, or that we have possibly never existed. No trace of us here. If that's gone, that's it. Everything that the ego self identifies with disappears, finds another form. There's only one law in the universe that never changes. This is Sogyal Rinpoche, the author of the Tibetan book of Living and Dying. The thing that never changes is that all things change, and that all things are impermanent. All things. So the root of our fear is that sense of separateness and impermanence. You kind of get that, don't you? We're in our ego mind. It just seems like it's all going to be lost. Our true self, on the other hand, our soul self, God or Spirit as us, is our true source and substance. That's at the center of our being is where we can be in that, through which we experience oneness and love, interconnectedness to all that is. Experience peace, compassion, courage, wisdom, those things that never change. From our soul perspective, we know and we feel connected to each other, to all that is, nature and to spirit. We feel it when we're in our soul space or our heart center. We feel a deep sense of peace and profound love, and we not only feel love, but we actually are that love. The deeper that we get into it, it becomes more of embodying and being that love. So how do we move from our ego self to our heart self, or our soul self? Ram Dass has, as part of the lessons he gives in his book, he has a technique that he uses to help people get from a place of fear and separateness to their heart center. He holds his hand over his heart and breathes through his heart. Where have we heard that? Yeah. Well, I think it was just last month. When we selected this theme, we, following right after David MacArthur being here at HeartMath, and using that same technique to get to our heart center, just as, again, the universe working in its usual perfect ways. That's exactly what happened. That's exactly what he counsels people. Ram Dass is to breathe through your heart and to continue practicing that. And he adds to it a mantra that says, I am loving awareness. I am loving awareness. I am loving, continuing to breathe. So other advice he has is that Ram Dass says, be with and embrace the changes that come with aging, come with the approaching and dying process, but also through all of our age. Many of us in this room aren't close to considering, making plans for their process of leaving this earth. But this truth applies no matter what stage of life we're in. Embrace the changes and the learnings and the new opportunities that come with each stage, and especially with aging. Larry Hyland brought a book to our men's club maybe a month ago, written by George Phelan, called Aging Well. Maybe some of you are familiar with that. But he echoes what Ram Dass says about adapting to and becoming comfortable with and going into the changes that come with each different stage of life. Reinvent yourself. Practice gratitude for the new opportunities, the new learning, the new wisdom that comes with, hopefully comes with being a little older. Stay connected. 3 or 4 other things he said were essential to aging well and being prepared for the moving into the dying process. Stay connected to people. Be social. Stay active physically and mentally. Use it or lose it. Really do it consciously. Eat healthy. Get checkups, things that we can do to take care of this spacesuit that we're in as long as we're here. And last of all, be involved with something greater than yourself. Find a new joy and meaning to being alive and being here and being with people and being in this three-dimensional construct for as long as we are here. Ram Dass adds to that, continue to practice oneness consciously. So there's things that we can do, and we actually come to those at the stage of life where we're considering the dying process, because it brings it into focus. Now we get serious about it, right? Now we get serious about it. It brings some urgency and special focus. That, I think, is the gift, one of the gifts of being close to the dying process, is that there's no place to hide anymore. The ego has run out of excuses and avoidances. That brings it into focus. So, to me, it was one of the real graces of having, of looking at the dying process. Realizing that the focus brings key learnings that we can apply to other parts of our lives, other stages of our lives, other aspects of our lives. Ram Dass says, I realized that being love is the best preparation for death. Nowhere to go, nothing to fear, just loving awareness. I'm changing, as everything around me is changing, moment to moment, being right here, right now, because immortality is in the moment. Death, immortality, eternity is in the moment. Now, every now, and at the moment of death is immortality and eternity. Like I said, I'm grateful for this topic. First, because it brings focus to this. The second reason is that the lessons and insights apply to not only the big kahuna at the end, that process where we're leaving this physical existence, but also to the important events of life that happen. Ram Dass says, one learns the art of dying by learning the art of living. The same thing. The same art applies in both cases. Many of our life situations we find ourselves trapped or locked into situations where we maybe are feeling a sense of loss of control, or a deep loss of some loss of a friend or a relative, or a loss of something we treasure. In a stage of anger or rage, a place where our ego mind and our ego self is sort of in control, and we're locked into that, and we can't find our way out of it. That also requires a dying. It requires dying as ego, giving that up. And to many people, it feels almost as hard to let go of that as actually giving up the physical body. They identify so strongly with expectations of others, roles that they play, beliefs that they picked up during their life about who they are, mistakenly. We have to die as a false sense of ourselves, our ego self, our labels and roles, our facades, the expectations. We die as those constructs we've created for ourselves so that we can return to our true self. Again, one of the lessons, the art of living, helps us learn the art of dying. Remember, dying is the most important thing you ever do. Not only the big one, but dying is just as important in these life situations. Remembering to give up, die to our ego, die as our ego, die to whatever is not who we really are, so that we can reveal our true selves and access our true wisdom, our true love, the peace. So, summarize here quickly. It's natural to feel fearful about the prospect of dying. It's going to come up. Everyone's afraid of dying, from us is. But we can transform that feeling of fear. Whenever that comes up, I can know that, oh, that's my ego. It's my buddy talking to me. I don't need to listen. I don't need to be in fear about it. We can transform that as a reminder to us that I can go to my true self, my heart center. We can begin now. We don't have to wait till we're on death's doorstep. We can embrace the changes and the wisdom that come with each life stage. We can take care of unfinished business. A year and a half ago, it was the fall of 2017, Chris Love had a workshop that some of us were a part of called Crossing the Thresholds of Aging. And we did some of that. We found, and I had just as hard a time then, I know some of the rest of us did too, talking about unfinished business. Because I've got some unfinished business I'd rather not dig up. And to be asked to do that was difficult. And yet, going through it, I was able to release and forgive and let it drop away. So there is value in being in that place in our life and having help to do it. So practicing oneness and taking classes and like thresholds of aging. We need each other just for that. Remember, one of the themes of Ramdas's book was not only the dying process, but the accompaniment of our friends and our community as we move forward through that. Remember, we're just walking each other home. Whenever we serve others, whenever we volunteer, whenever we serve a Love in Action team, we're really walking each other home. Whenever we listen to each other, especially deep listening, we're walking each other home. Whenever we pray for others, hold the light candle for each other, we're walking each other home. Whenever we forgive another, whenever we hold sacred space for another, whenever we see the other as not other, we're walking each other home. Whenever we show compassion, when we help soothe them back to their heart place, by being there ourselves, holding that space for them, we're walking each other home. whenever we teach, whenever we lead community events, whenever we provide a safe and nurturing spiritual community, circle of friends who are walking each other home. I'm grateful for this. I see that's a lot of what we do here at CSL with each other, and you can see all of the ways that we do that for each other. It's part of the process of not only walking each other home at the end of life, but walking each other home every day back to their heart center, who they truly are. If we could see that and see each other as souls on that journey with us, no matter what their path looks like, we're walking each other home. So I wish for each of us this month that speakers that are yet to come, that we find something that inspires us, that reaffirms us who we really are as soul energies relating to each other at the soul level. You find something in the workshops that are offered this month. And thank you for walking me home.